Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Peter Lamont, the host of UTLRadio.com, your business success and legal information station. Today, I conducted an interview with my co-host, Bob Hughes, of musician Craig Greenberg. And, Craig is a really interesting guy because he is a modern-day troubadour. He's a pianist and has self-published 3 albums. And if you check out his website, you'll see how professional his videos are. And the great thing about Craig is that he did it all on his own. He didn't go the traditional route where he hired an agent and then made a deal with a record label. He's doing this all on his own through the use of social media and in-person appearances and connecting with his fan base. And we can learn a lot as entrepreneurs about the way you can interact with your clients or your quote-unquote fan base. So this is a really good interview because there's a lot of information that you can sort of take out and apply to your business or your entrepreneurial desires, your projects that you're working on. So even if you're not a musician, you can learn a lot from this. If you are a musician, he gives some great information about what you can do right now to increase your fan base and how to get your message out as an independent artist. So I'm going to play right now pieces of the interview. If you're interested in listening to the full interview, which I recommend that you do, that full interview is available on UTLRadio.com. It's also available on blogtalkradio.com and through the iTunes store on our podcast. So if you go to iTunes, you can download our podcast, and you'll automatically be updated when new podcasts are completed and uploaded. But otherwise, go to utlradio.com. All the links are there, and take a listen to this and let me know what you think. Don't forget that we have a show scheduled for tomorrow with bodybuilding superstar and CEO of Gaspari Nutrition, Rich Gaspari. So check that out. Again, all the information to all our shows and all of our links that you can find us on social media are at utlradio.com. So take a listen to this interview and see what you think. Thank you. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is episode 181 on a different note. This is utlradio.com, your business success and legal information station. And today we are going to have our final show of the summer of our special On a Different Note program that we ran this summer. And our final guest of the season is going to be Craig Greenberg. He is a musician and really a musician entrepreneur, very successful, has been producing his own albums, I think, since 2007. We're really excited to have him on. We're going to talk about his music, his background, what he has done in the music industry as the music business has evolved. It certainly isn't what it was 20 years ago, and a lot of people, like Craig, are sort of taking control of their own destiny and not relying simply on record labels to tell them what to do and what kind of music to write. So we're going to be talking to Craig about that. I'm joined, of course, by my co-host, Bob Hughes. And before we get into the show... How you doing? Before we get into the show, I just want to make a couple announcements. All right, well, here's a good question, because this is something that I think not just musicians, but entrepreneurs, which is really what you are. You're a musician/entrepreneur because you are creating your own business, your own brand out of yourself. But a lot of people will say this to me. They'll say, you know what, as a startup business, as a startup musician, I don't have enough money. I don't have money coming in. I can't create an excellent looking website. I can't have somebody come and film me to shoot a video. Yet your site is top notch and your videos are really professionally done. So how does somebody starting off, how do you develop that that sort of ability to produce such high quality content?
Yeah. Well, for one, I have had other work over these years as I built my thing. I didn't just go in. So I have had other sources of income, and that which has helped, obviously. And then a lot of this stuff is really, if you're in the scene and, if you're out meeting people and there's a lot of the people I've worked with that have done, whether it's in artwork or my website. Like my website was actually extremely reasonably priced. There's another musician friend of mine in New York, and so that wasn't, that's a WordPress site. So I mean, to me, it's a very good functional site. I mean, does it have all the bells and whistles of some other, maybe not, but it gets the job done. And the video was also like, there was, I had a little bit of a budget there, but I got somebody that was, young and hungry and wanting to make good work. And he pulled together a crew, and for very, on a shoestring. But also it was, it was a very simple concept. We just had, it was us playing, performing, and then just like, it was only one other shot outside the venue. So it was really kind of like, we just kind of made it in a way that it was very economical to do. So, you just got to be creative and kind of just, and there are a lot of ways to if you think outside the box, to just kind of, make it work with less.
Well, that sounds like a lot of what a lot of the startups are doing. There's and a lot of the smaller ones is, I don't want to call it barter, but hey, I know someone that can help you, and maybe you can help them. The non-monetary exchange of services.
But I think the fact that it's always been my voice and my my words, that posting and keeping control of that. I think that's it just keeps it on a personal level, and I think that keeps it kind of intimate. And I don't know. It's hard to foresee. Like if I was on a much bigger scale than I am, like would I be able to still do that? I don't know. Maybe I'll deal with that problem if and when it comes. Right. But I really, I know. I just built my thing, person at a time, and one thing I've done, which I think is I've had since the beginning. I kind of have like a spreadsheet of my state by state kind of fans and friends, and that's something that's been invaluable just to kind of develop. And so if I go on tour, I'm going to a place and I'll reach out to people, and so that's been good.
I think the key though with it, with what you've said, is that it's genuine. It's you talking to your fans, and it's taking more time, but instead of just pushing out some sort of crap to people, you're actually connecting with them, and then they feel connected to you. Your music means something to them, and you're developing very, very, good relationships, as if you were there at a bar with someone. So, social media, if you use it the right way, can really, really help. But it's about being yourself and being genuine.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, again, people would say it's just a tool, and like anything else, it's how you use it.